Unemployment is one of the biggest challenges Uganda is currently grappling with. Available statistics show that in 2022, the youth unemployment rate in the country stood at 6.58%. The numbers have, however, not had any positive change this year, 2023. The unemployment rate for Uganda's post-secondary graduates is 80%, which is one of the highest in the world, according to the Brighter Monday Uganda, a recruitment and HR platform. The youth unemployment rate of a country or region refers to the share of the total workforce aged 15 to 24 years that is currently without work but actively searching for employment. Generally, the high youth unemployment rate in Uganda and Africa at large can be attributed to slow economic growth and small informal labor markets, high population growth rate, lack of sufficient experience and skills, lack of decent work, the rigged education systems, rural-urban migration, limited social networks, among others. Peter Btendik, who is popularly known as Papa, the founder of Noah's Ark Children's Ministry Uganda, which runs the new Horizons Secondary Vocational School located at Kikubankima cell in Goma Division, Mukono Municipality, says that most of Uganda's graduates come out of the universities and technical institutions with the knowledge but lacking the skills to put into practice what they acquired from the institutions of higher learning.
The challenge which the government is also facing is having the right instructors. Yeah, I've seen what a struggle it is to get instructors. You can get instructors from vocational teachers from Chambogo, but most of them have never put their hands on a piece of timber, never opened up an engine, never put bricks together. It's all theory, and that's where the country gets theoretically educated, but there is no practice. And I don't believe in that. Can't work. So even here, our teacher, our instructors, the teachers for the academical side, I tell them, go to the workshop, start cutting a piece of timber, start using a file and flatten, straighten a piece of metal. That which will give you the intention, the tendency of understanding what vocation is, and that is lacking.
Peter, a Dutch national who has lived in Uganda for the last 27 years, adds that the schools and institutions produce such students and graduates just because even the teachers, lecturers and tutors are also equipped with only the knowledge, lacking the real-life skills in their different fields.
People, Ugandans in general, believe that you have to go to university. You have done secondary, you are nothing if you haven't gone to university. Now, I see a lot of young people like in Kampala selling the tickets for parking, and they're university degree holders, and yet it is so bloody simple to do that job. You don't need to have a university degree, but because those people do not find the jobs. So we are used to white-collar jobs. The tie has to be there, and then you are somebody. But the practical people are missing. If I need a good carpenter, I struggle. If I need somebody who can look after my car proper, I struggle. I'm critical, I know, but I struggle. So garment making and all those kind of things, yes, we wish to do it here ourselves, but who is training who? Do we have the experts? Do we have the people who are having a passion? My question to people who want to teach my secondary, or basically my kids in general, I'm like, what is your teaching capacity? Who are you as a teacher? And they tell me I'm this or I'm that, and I'm like, forget it. If you don't have a passion, I'm talking about my passion. I want those kids, my kids, I call them my kids, I want my kids to know as many skills as possible. And that's a passion. So if you are an educator, a teacher, or whatever you're called, and you don't have a passion for what you're teaching theory. So these kids will go home and they will say like, okay, this is a telephone, this is a what? A telephone. What it does, where it is for, is not the question. You answer just, this is a telephone. This is a what? You say telephone. So to be practical, give me the insight. What is this thing? It's made out of what? It functions as what? And then your answer is wrong. To me, that's not the right way. The world has changed, so we need to be more creative.
In a bid to challenge the quality of unskilled graduates who go through the education system of Uganda, the government, through the National Curriculum Development Center, NCDC, revised the lower secondary education curriculum, introducing the new lower secondary education curriculum, which is competence-based. Its implementation started in 2019 with the Senior 1 students.
Students have a chance of experiential learning. They learn as they do and at the same time do as they learn. Project-based learning is highly emphasized, practical learning is highly emphasized, and learners learn a lot of lessons from this.
The first cohorts of the students who are undergoing the revised curriculum are soon sitting for their Uganda Certificate of Education National Examinations in 2024. Unfortunately, the NCDC specialist Wilson Sabavuma says most of the schools in the country have not yet got the real gist of the matter as far as the new curriculum is concerned.
Nti omwana avudde kanga baluka omukeeka nga bakola n'ebibbo njawulo kijafuna wano era kikyafirwa singa taze mu ssomero lyamu amanyi n'emikeeka tugyetaaga nembuga this is the domestic curriculum gye balimu naye ku ssomero mumwongeddeko ki ngisakira bawogo ge mazima era njogera ne bahead teachers nembuga temina value addition kuba abaana bano bava ekanga ebibbo babiruka emikeeka bakola ki lwaki bajja ku ssomero wano era ayina amagezi gafuna wano mu ssomero era gamwetaagisa kuluka mukeeka
Sabavuma said that together with the team of specialists from NCDC, they have traversed the country assessing how schools are implementing the new lower secondary education curriculum, but the findings are worrying. He said that schools are still held back in the old curriculum, much as they think that they are implementing the new one, which leaves the students at crossroads.
A number of schools, actually all the schools in Uganda, are expected to be implementing the curriculum as prescribed by the curriculum developers, and they are trying their best. However, a number of them are still struggling with methodology, that is translating the curriculum into practical learning experiences.
He, however, believes that most of the teachers have not yet got the chance to get enough information on how to implement the new curriculum.
I would say, as curriculum developers, we have a duty, working with the rest of the Ministry of Education, to orient teachers on the new lower secondary school curriculum. One thing that should be appreciated is that teaching methodologies are dynamic. They keep emerging and evolving depending on the demands of the country. So what I would recommend is that we put a lot more emphasis on training, orienting teachers, especially in interpreting the curriculum and using the right teaching methodologies. Our target as NCDC was to orient 65% of the teachers in service in the country. But as we talk now, the resource envelope that we have been given has only enabled us to train around only 25%, meaning that we still have a deficit of about 40%. So the ministry and the government of Uganda should put more emphasis on orientation programs so that we can equip all in-service teachers with the necessary skills and abilities to interpret the curriculum and translate it into meaningful learning experiences.
On his survey in some of the schools in Mukono Municipality, Sabavuma landed to new Horizons Secondary Vocational School, where he realized that it is one of the few schools in the country which is on the right path as far as implementing the new lower secondary education curriculum is concerned.
This is Lydia Leka, and I'm in senior 3 class, and I'm a candidate of DIT for this year, 2023. Right now I'm in the textile department, and I chose this department because I really love it the most. I joined tailoring because ever since I've been senior 1, I've been choosing different vocations, doing different activities they are going on. But me, personally, I chose tailoring because it's one of the best and it's profitable. It shows creativity. What I've liked from New Horizons Secondary Vocational School, it not only teaches vocational part, but also teaches the educational part. Like teaches us how to study different activities in the vocational room. There we can go home and practice, but also it teaches us also the academic part that we should all learn, that we should all achieve to be successful. But all of us, we have different skills, but some of us take long to bring out that skill. Some of us can be better in reading and in knowledge in class, and some of us can be better in the vocational part outside the classroom. But some of us can be better in both academics plus the vocational part. So no one is dense when they're in the academic part, and no one is lazy when they're in the vocational part. Tailoring is not only a vocation that you just look around and see people putting on dresses, skirts, but also it teaches you how to be creative. In the new curriculum, we learned how to brainstorm to come up with different activities of our own. But in the old curriculum, they feed them with a lot of notes. They feed them with the activities for them to do without them even coming up with their own ideas. But we in the new curriculum, we brainstorm and come out with our own designs to make. Like here, I've made dresses for young kids. These are the dresses we made for young kids. And also in the new curriculum, we also made t-shirts, coming up with our own designs. And also a bag. In the new curriculum, it's showing us that in this world, it needs people who have the skill and the knowledge, the ability to do something that can take you somewhere. Unlike the old curriculum that was producing job seekers, but we, the new curriculum, we come up with our own designs, and we can get from our own designs our own money and create for our own self jobs. Those in the old curriculum, they study, they get diplomas, they get degrees, but after them graduating from the university, college, they cannot find a job. But we, the new curriculum, we come up with our own products, and we find the jobs by our own selves, we earn money by ourselves, and if we don't get degrees, diplomas, as long as we find our own money by creating our own designs. Now, in Senior 3, as me, a candidate for DIT 2023, I am doing textile this year, and I'm happy and I'm so glad that I'm going to sit for my papers for DIT with courage and hope that I'm going to pass them. And while I'm also waiting for UNEB next year, a candidate for Senior 4, I'm announcing this to the departments, different departments, that not only choosing other departments that help, but be creative and do not be job seekers. Be your own self and be your job by yourself.
When I compare New Horizon with other schools, these people have a niche in practical learning. Schools have tried but are still struggling with practical skills, equipping learners with practical skills which can enable them to be productive at the end of the 4 years of learning. New Horizon is very different from a number of schools that we have visited, in that they have been able to unpack the curriculum and translate it into practical learning experiences. And the learners going through this school have given us a lot of hope as curriculum developers. When you look at the teaching and learning methodologies they use, they have really been able to equip learners with the practical skills that are needed. And also, using the locally available materials, locally available resources, teaching and learning resources, translating them into useful products. Learners learn using the local environment, and learners make products from the local environment which are sellable and at the same time can give them vocations that they can do at the end of the cycle.
My name is Miranda Joy Ebo. I'm a senior 3 student. I'm from New Horizons Secondary Vocational School, as you can see. Basically, my skill here, I'm a plumber. When I joined here, I remember when I joined New Horizons Secondary Vocational School, my parents' point always was I do textile. But then I got to see that maybe I should do my passion. I shouldn't do what my parents maybe wanted me to do. Now here, what I'm basically going to demonstrate, I'm going to demonstrate indirect water supply. That is in cold water. This basically I'm going to fix my attention to the water closet. Though most of the time people haven't told it a toilets. In the plumbing world, we call it the WC or water closet, and how it is connected. In the plumbing world, this is called the kitchen sink, and then we also have different models like the wash and basin and the kitchen sink, different sanitary appliances. Now, like all these things that we usually use to discharge water, they are called the water sanitary appliances. Now, these are my tools, and these are some of the tools we use in plumbing. This is called a Benson wrench, and this is called this one. It's called a pipe wrench, and this is thread tape. This one just simply helps us to grip our pipes tightly together. Now our water closet. This is it. This is the cistern cover. This is the cistern itself. In the cistern we've got the siphon, we've got the ball valve, we've got connections here, and maybe here. What I'm going to do here is basically to just tighten our back nut, because when we are installing this cistern, the WC, we always tighten it to the flash pipe, the flash pipe that always brings to the water bowl, which has the toilet cover and the seat. What I'm doing is tightening our back nuts. This, what we see here, it is called the thread tip. In most cases, in case we cut short pieces, for example, we are trying to install something, and then the pieces that you've cut, if you're a plumber, and then maybe you go somewhere, and the piece you've cut, it is really small. This thread tip can help you. Now, like then we apply it here, that our pipe can easily sit in, so that it can make grip and water doesn't cut through. We normally use this on DI pipes. We use it on different pipes like the PPR pipes and the PVC and the UPDP. We are the pioneers of the new curriculum. This new curriculum, they brought it up after 2019. It began in 2020 and were affected by COVID at the first time. But this system, the new curriculum, of course, at first it was a very big problem to us. But then this new curriculum, it is helping us as students to think. Because in the old curriculum, you will depend on the teacher. The teacher gives you work herself. The teacher gives you everything. It's like the teacher is giving you everything. But in the new curriculum, the good thing about it is you think for yourself as a student. Because when they give you work and you research by yourself, it gives you a better understanding, that you can understand things better than the teacher giving you work. What is the point of going to class? Teacher feeds you everything. You just go out empty-handed or empty-headed. You just go to class. I'm meant to go to class. Let me just go to class. But in the new curriculum, teacher gives you work, giving you that chance to go research more about it. And when you research about that work, you understand it better by yourself. And as a student of New Horizons Secondary Vocational School, like we recently, our head of vocations also told us that they had also introduced the system of learning. In the new curriculum, we learn the academic part and the vocation part. Me as a plumber, I usually gain a lot different skills. When we joined this school, usually travel around different vocations and you learn different skills in different vocations, and then later on you choose a department that you want to do. So if you specify in a different department that you want to do, at least you can get the skill of the academic part and and the vocation part. In the end, that, for example, if you do catering, if you do hairdressing, if you do textile, if you do plumbing, maybe plumbing, it may become a hard thing to set up a hardware when you finish school, but at least they can help you, your parents can help you, because the moment you finish senior 4, the most people in now, for example, catering, if you finish senior 4 and you have that skill, you may not only have the certificate of the academic part, but you can also have the certificate of a certified caterer. You can become a chef. Now in plumbing, the work that we do here is just domestic plumbing, but if I do my plumbing level 1, level 2, I can also study to level 8, because in plumbing we have 8 levels. I can study and then become a water engineer someday, because that is also one of my dreams. I want to become a water engineer. That's why I chose plumbing. That skill, it doesn't get away from your head like the work you've studied in school, but that skill is always in your mind.
Records show that the school started this kind of teaching way back in 2012. Savma says that at New Horizons, students are exactly getting the skills while using the limited resources from their surroundings, which is one of the basics of the new curriculum. On why most schools cannot implement the new lower secondary education curriculum, Peter has explained it fully.
You know, things are not in the name. It's not like now we are going to call it you are the secondary vocational. It's not just a name. It is having a place. Lots of schools do not have a place. They have no workshops, they don't have enough land, they can't make any practical thing. I recently spoke to a school, they said, Papa, we are also going to implement. I said, what? They said, we are looking for a cow, we're going to buy a cow, and then the students are going to benefit from the milk. I said, how many students do you have? He said, 1,000. I said, 1 cow and 1,000 students. Students who have never dealt with a cow will not produce even 1 liter of milk. What are you going to do? It's not that simple. Agriculture is great, but and tomatoes and that will grow almost every day, everywhere. But having a cow to produce milk needs proper study, proper legumes, proper grass, proper watering, and so on and so on. So that's lacking. So that's a misconcept. So we have built up all the workshops we have as time has gone.
We have taken a round into an exhibition which is characterized by the products produced by the students of New Horizons that are of high quality and value, yet they were made by students from Senior 1 to Senior 3 who are in 2 different vocations. Students whom we have interacted with say, from Senior 1, they happen to study all the vocations alongside other subjects that include physics, chemistry, English, mathematics, and many others. The vocations include building, hairdressing, electricity, catering, tailoring, plumbing, mechanics, carpentry, agriculture, shoemaking, and metalwork. It is in Senior 2 that the students get the honor to specialize in one vocation after getting the general knowledge from each and every vocation. In Senior 3, the school registers the students to the Directorate of Industrial Training, which evaluates them through the exams and issues provisional assessor certificates for the successful participants. This year, New Horizons registered 135 students who highly passed the assessment, and they were issued with certificates. According to the school administrator, Irene Tusimire, 11 students graduated in building and construction, 30 from motor vehicle mechanics, 7 from tailoring and fashion design, 14 from catering and hotel management. Others were 27 from domestic electronics, who got level 1 certificates, and 2 with level 2 certificates. 29 are from plumbing, hairdressing 19, and 6 from welding and metal fabrication.
Our graduates are my children. So today we are happy that our children are finally graduating with their level 1. Peter and Peter realized the need to give the right education program in order to equip the children under their care the relevant skills. Which skills they would use to sustain themselves after they have left school. In 2006, when the schools were opened, that's the nursery and the primary, they realized that the neighboring schools were emphasizing academics, yet most of the Ugandans are occupied in hands-on activities to earn their living. That's why they decided to vocationalize our kind of education. So New Horizons Secondary Vocational School was opened in 2011 to admit our primary leavers. This school is running 2 programs. The secondary part and the vocational part. Our students spend some good time in the vocational part, in the vocational workshop, doing practical activities. If you are able to tour around, you are able to see the different workshops that we have.
Our next department is catering and hotel management. Nashukuru Jonat, wakati zaidi Amron Ibn Angela Joseph.
The mark about this kind of vocational training is the fact that female students have liberty to take on vocations which were originally dominated by men, and the male students also do the vice versa. One of the parents, Pastor Favor Esther, says she very much loves the way students are gaining skills which make them ready to earn money even before sitting for their Senior 4 exams. Patience Mtama is one of the students who went through this kind of education. Though she passed well the science subjects from her Senior 4 UNEP exams, prompting her to do a science combination at A level, physics, chemistry and mathematics PCM, which she also passed well, and she got enrolled at Kyambogo University where she's doing a course in oil and gas production. Patience does not regret her time in tailoring and fashion design classes.
Na joining New Horizons Secondary Vocational School in 2015. And then soma Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. Nayenga try to collab vocations. Form 1 nga tukola vocations zonna nga tugenda mu plumbing, textile, electricity, hairdressing, painting, a lot of them. Naye mu Form 3 I decided to take textile. Reason being nasoka nentulamu nga ndaba textile, it was my interest. I wanted to do fashion and design, and looking outside I see it's marketable. You can't sleep hungry once you've gained the skill. So I decided to take textile and I did DIT. I passed it very well. Then after I sat for my Form 4, I decided to take sciences. I took PCM, I passed it also. Then I decided to go for campus, and right now I'm at Kyambogo. At Kyambogo, ndi musoma bya mafuta, nkola degree mu oil and gas production.
During her free time at the university, Patience goes back to her former school to practice what she studied in the tailoring class. Among other things, she produces sweaters and bags which pay her well. As her other students at the university are lacking money for upkeep through the semester, it is a very different story for Patience, who is ever smiling not only on her face but also her pockets.
Ekinsikiriza okukomawo wano ate nga ndi ku campus kwe kubanga skill gye nafuna ey'okutunga tosobola ssula njala, newankubadde abaana ku campus basobola ossula enjala, naye ate nze mbasobola okujja wano nentunga amasweta, nentunga uniforms, nenfuna list sente ezimbeezaawo. Kati kiba kinyambako n'okubanga impracticinga nga seerabira bye nasoma, nkola ebintu ebyenjawulo, era kino ekifo nkyenyumirizaamu nnyo okubanga nayiga ebintu ebyenjawulo. Kaakati nze wiiki maze okukola amasweta nga 2. Nkola amasweta ag'enjawulo aga primary, nursery, secondary, era nga nze bansasula mwezi, naye ate nga maasaana okukola ebintu by'omuntu kinoomu. Omuntu nga nze n'aŋŋamba njagala ensawo, maaso ogikolera bulungi, n'aŋŋamba njagala esweta eyange nze nga nze omuntu kinoomu, naye maaso ogimukolera. Kati mu ebyo ebintu oba osobola okufunamu akasente, tolinda musaala. Nze bwe ntyo bwekikola, ntunga ensawo ez'enjawulo, naye nga kati essaawa zino nsinga kukola amasweta ga masomero, era go ngeekakasa.
Sabavuma, the NCDC specialist, has called upon schools and teachers to make use of New Horizons Secondary Vocational School for benchmarking purposes, because what it is still challenging them in terms of implementing the new curriculum, for them, they are just doing revision. The school has 3 exhibitions every year, which takes 3 days, where the students showcase what they learned and made. Parents and other guests turn up in numbers to see what their children are doing and buy some of the products.
Gasaka Ivan, nga ndi mu kibiina kya senior ey'okubiri ku ssomero lya New Horizons Secondary Vocational School. Nasalawo okulonda hairdressing kubanga ndinamu obwagazi bungi lw'embeera nga nsiba kasitoma kwira nga kinyumira, ate n'ekirala enviiri z'abakyala zindabikira bulungi, so buli lw'embeera nga nsiba enviiri kinsanyusa ate era nkikola nga nkyagala, era ngezaako nnyo okuyiga buli ka sitayiro akapya akabeera kajja ku market, sobole okubeera omusibi w'enviiri ow'akabi.